Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us for another edition of Reporter's Notebook. For those of you who've never gotten a chance to watch Reporter's Notebook before, it's one of my favorite things to do. It's something where we get to sit down towards the end of our days and pull in some reporters, some of the producers, some of the editors, and just kind of get a breakdown of what it's like to work here at WNCT, work in a newsroom, and dig a little deeper into those stories that we cover for you guys each and every day. So today I am joined by Miss Camila Barco. Hello, hello.
Hi, Emily. How are you?
I'm doing
Friday.
great. How do you? I know it's Friday. So Camila is zooming us right out of Jacksonville right now. She's one of our Jacksonville Bureau reporters. So Camila, what's the story that you got to cover today? You know, being down in Jacksonville, we don't get to chat very much, don't really get to, exchange story ideas all the time, things like that. So what'd you get to do today?
So today I actually explored out of Jacksonville. I ended up going to Craven County, specifically New Bern, where of course this is the never-ending topic that we talk about, COVID. Today we went to New Bern to see some people get some COVID shots at Carolina East's Express Lab. We've heard the story before. People just get their vaccinations, they check in, they get the COVID shot, and then they wait for 15 minutes. But today was a little different. Emily, I know we've talked about, our team has talked about how Governor Cooper and his team is now allowing people 65 and older to get the vaccine. But there's a high demand for this vaccine, and Carolina East's mission right now is to prioritize those people who are 75 and older first before they can go to that next group that has been allowed to get that vaccine.
Definitely. And so you got, Not On Your Side was invited to go kind of watch this vaccine process happen. So how was it, for you? Was this your first time seeing people get vaccinated? I know some of our reporters have been out on some stories similar to that, but was this your first time watching people get vaccinated? And what was your kind of overall feeling or opinion on that?
So I think I've lost the amount of times that I've been to a COVID vaccination site. I really do not know. I think it's been more than a handful of times already that I've seen people just get a needle in their arm or to help prevent them from getting the coronavirus. So I think anytime I go to these type of events that we're invited to, it's interesting to see the demand. We've heard a lot of controversy surrounding this topic, COVID, the vaccinations, the testing, and to tell you the truth, I was thinking not a lot of people would sign up for this vaccination and kind of doubt the whole the testing and everything. But when I started going to these vaccination sites, people just kept telling me that they've been overflowing with the amount of calls that they have received for people to get these vaccinations. So I think that has been probably the biggest surprise going to these events. But it's always nice to see how people are very open-minded when they go to these sites. And a lot of people are just saying that the man that I spoke to today says that he wanted to do this just so he can get back to some normalcy. And he said that the first thing that he's going to do once this is all over is throw away all of his masks.
Definitely. I am right there with him. I cannot wait to throw those suckers away. But
Me too.
Did you get to, you said you spoke to somebody who did get a vaccination. So what was the kind of overall consensus of how people felt after they got these vaccines? Were people genuinely happy about it? Were people still a little, concerned about the effects, or what was the overall consensus from people?
Well, I can tell you no one was like screaming at this site. There was no outburst. So people were fairly calm today at that vaccination site. And the way that they do these vaccinations is not on a first come, first serve basis. They want to have some order with this. So it was fairly organized. People would come in during their vaccination at their appointment time and then get the vaccination. And then right when they're done, they just go to this small lobby and people will look over them to see if they feel any sort of effects. I think during the time that I was there, no one had any mishaps, no one fainted, everything was fine. So I'm a witness to that. Everyone was fine. And the man that I spoke to today said that he didn't even hesitate to sign up for this. He said that I'm going to quote him right now. He says, the more people who can get vaccinated, the sooner we can get done with all of these masks and stuff and all of the restrictions that we have. So that was his look on why he decided to sign up for the shot. And everyone else just there was fairly calm. And I think some people are probably a little just weary of, especially this age group, they're probably just a little weary of going out in public and, you know, risking getting the coronavirus. So some people that I spoke to at other vaccination sites say that, you know, this is probably the healthiest way to beat the coronavirus.
For sure. And you know, I know one of the questions a lot of people have about the vaccination is, you know, how long is it going to take them to sit there and have to go through this process? Are people waiting in these long lines to get it? How does that exactly work for these people when they show up to get vaccinated?
So I've been to several vaccination sites, and I think every county has their own system. Not even the own county, the own agency has its own system. Today I went there and they were going through an appointment system, and this is done by Carolina East, and Carolina East will only call its patients. So the people there at the lab today were only Carolina East patients. So that's how they're doing it. And then yesterday, when I was at Dublin County, they held a COVID drive-through vaccination site. That was the first that we've heard of that in Eastern North Carolina, if I'm correct. And that was a first come, first served basis. So, you know, that one's not as organized. That one is just whoever gets served the earliest will get the vaccination. And then here in Onslow County, we've seen another vaccination site where they have appointments come in, but it's a lot of people that they have come in, probably more than 100. Here at Carolina East today, they had about say 66 people, if I'm correct, were walking through their doors today, and that is all based on an appointment system. So every agency has its own way of doing it, and the process is fairly similar. However, you know, people go to the vaccination site, they get their COVID shot, and right after, they will wait somewhere for 15 to 30 minutes just to, you know, make sure that there's no side effects, everything is fine, no one like has any mishaps, any fainting. So we want to make sure with that. And then once they're done with that, they're good to go. And then they come back, depending on which shot you get, Moderna or Pfizer, you either wait 21 days or 28 days to go back for your second dose.
For sure. And like you said, you know, a lot of people have been kind of concerned about the availability of the vaccine because they did just lower that age to 65 and older can now get it. So there's now a whole nother pool of people that still need to get vaccinated, and we're not even finished with, you know, 75 and up. So I know that's been definitely a struggle. So hopefully, you know, more sites will continue to open and we're able to get people vaccinated efficiently and healthy. And I do know this was posted on our website actually earlier, and this goes perfectly with your story. The North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services has released basically a link to their website, a tool that you can use to find out when you're eligible for the vaccine, where those sites will be located, and all of that kind of information. So if you guys are curious about more of this, want to know when that deadline is coming up for you, where those places are available for you, you can check that out at WNCT.com. And you can also check out Camila's story at WNCT.com as well as watching her on our broadcast tonight. So thank you so much, Camila, for taking the time to join us today. I'm glad you're, you know, staying healthy and safe out there as you're traveling to all these different sites. So thank you so much for joining us. And thank you guys for joining us for this edition of Reporter's Notebook. We'll see you later.